You've probably heard of the rings of Saturn, those massive bands of ice and rock that circle the gas giant. But what if Earth had rings like that? Not clouds, not stars, but actual rings stretching across the sky, visible day and night. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but let's imagine for a moment that it's real. Saturn's rings are made up of countless particles, from tiny grains of dust to chunks as big as houses. They span over 270,000 kilometers, but are only about 10 meters thick. Now picture a scaled-down version of that circling our planet. These rings would orbit within what's called the Roche limit, about 1.5 to 3 Earth radii from the surface. That's too close to form a moon, but perfect for a stable ring system. The view from the ground would be absolutely mind-blowing. If you were standing at the equator, the rings would rise straight up, forming massive arches across the sky. During the day, they'd glow and scatter sunlight into brilliant halos. At night, they'd reflect light from the moon and stars, casting this permanent, ethereal glow over everything. If you were in the mid-latitudes, they'd curve across the horizon like some kind of glowing bridge. Even in broad daylight, you couldn't ignore them. But if you were at the poles, you'd barely see them at all, just a sliver of silver near the horizon. These rings wouldn't just be pretty to look at. They'd cast enormous shadows on the planet below, changing how sunlight reaches different regions. This could cool certain areas, mess with wind patterns, or change rainfall. Entire ecosystems might have to adapt to less sunlight, and growing seasons could change dramatically depending on the time of year and where you are on the planet. Ring eclipses could last for hours, creating these surreal, long-lasting twilights unlike anything we've ever experienced. Human culture would evolve around these rings. Cities might be designed for maximum visibility, with streets and skylines aligned to match the arcs in the sky. Imagine festivals timed with the ring's seasonal shadows, or entire religions built around their eternal presence. Our art, architecture, and mythology would look completely different. Even our languages might evolve with metaphors drawn from those ever-present bands above us. But life with rings wouldn't be all beauty and wonder. Launching rockets would become a whole lot harder. Those icy particles might look peaceful from Earth's surface, but in orbit, they'd be moving at thousands of kilometers per hour. Satellites and space stations would have to navigate carefully or risk getting smashed to bits. GPS, weather satellites, communication systems. They'd all be at constant risk from stray debris. Low Earth orbit could become a dangerous place, and space exploration would face a major obstacle. Interestingly, Earth might have had rings before. Some scientists think a Mars-sized object smashed into Earth billions of years ago. That impact may have thrown debris into orbit, possibly forming temporary rings, before the material eventually came together to form the moon. And it's not impossible that we could see rings again in the future. A collision with a large satellite, or maybe a rogue asteroid, could send fresh debris into orbit, creating a short-lived ring system. So what if Earth had rings? We'd be living under skies of astonishing beauty, painted with arcs of light, shadows, and shifting patterns. But with that, beauty would come deep changes to our planet's climate, culture, and technology. It's a reminder that even the smallest changes in the cosmos, just a few extra bands of rock and ice, can completely reshape the way we live. And though our skies today are empty of rings, just knowing what could have been adds a sense of wonder to every glance upward. It makes you think about all the different ways our planet could have turned out, and how lucky we are to live on this particular version of Earth. So next time you look up at the night sky, take a moment to imagine those glowing bands stretching across the heavens. It might just change the way you see our world,